You think she's just fidgeting. You think she's nervous. You think maybe she's bored or distracted. But here's what you don't know. She's already told you she likes you 3 times in the last 5 minutes. You just weren't listening. Because she didn't say it with words. Women rarely do. And the moment you miss those signals, she assumes you're either not interested or completely unaware. Both feel the same to her. Cold. Here's the truth most men will never accept. A woman will almost never walk up and tell you directly that she's attracted to you. It doesn't work that way. Not because she's playing games. Not because she's being difficult. But because attraction for women is vulnerable. It lives in the body before it ever reaches the mouth. And her body has already been speaking to you this entire time. Touching things. Adjusting things. Moving in ways that seem casual but aren't. You've been trained to wait for her to say something clear. To give you a green light in words. But while you're waiting for that, she's already given you 8. And if you keep missing them, she'll stop sending them altogether. That's not rejection. That's protection. So if you've ever felt like women are hard to read, this is going to change that. Because once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. And attraction stops feeling like a mystery. It starts feeling obvious. Let's talk about what actually happens when a woman is attracted to you. Not what she says. What her nervous system does. Because attraction isn't a thought. It's a physiological response. Her heart rate increases. Her hands get restless. Her body produces energy she has to do something with. And that energy shows up in her behavior. In the way she moves. In what she touches. This is why body language is more honest than words. Words can be controlled. Edited. Carefully chosen. But the body doesn't lie. It reacts. It reveals. Especially in the first 10 minutes of being around someone she's drawn to. That window is everything. Because that's when her subconscious is still in control. Before she's had time to play it cool. Before she's decided to pull back or wait for you to make a move. Her body is already leaning in. And most men completely miss it. They are focused on what she's saying. On whether she is laughing at their jokes. On trying to impress her or keep the conversation going. But they are not watching her hands. They are not noticing what she's doing while she talks. And that's where the truth lives. In the small movements. The things she touches without thinking. Because when a woman is attracted to you, her body looks for ways to self-soothe. To manage that nervous energy. To give her hands something to do. And the objects she touches aren't random. They are signals. Breadcrumbs she's leaving for you to follow. Now here's the part that matters. These behaviors aren't rehearsed. She's not sitting at home practicing how to flip her hair or adjust her necklace. This is subconscious. Instinctive. Which means it's real. It's her nervous system telling you what her words won't. And once you understand this language, everything shifts. You stop wondering if she's interested. You stop second-guessing yourself. Because her body already answered the question. You just have to know what to look for. And that's exactly what we are about to cover. 8 specific things women touch when they are attracted to you. Some are obvious once you know them. Others are so subtle that even she doesn't realize she's doing it. But all of them mean the same thing. She's noticing you. She's feeling something. And she's hoping you notice too. Because here's what most men don't realize. When a woman gives you these signals and you don't respond, she doesn't try harder. She pulls back. Not out of pride. Out of self-preservation. She interprets your lack of response as disinterest. And she's not going to keep putting herself out there if it feels one-sided. So missing these signs doesn't just cost you the moment. It closes the door, sometimes permanently. But when you do notice them, when you respond with the same energy she's giving you, everything becomes easier. The conversation flows. The tension builds naturally. She feels seen. And that feeling is what deepens attraction. Not your words. Not your resume. The fact that you were paying attention. That you picked up on what she was really saying. That's what makes her feel like you get her. And that's rare. So let's break this down. Sign by sign. Behavior by behavior. Because once you see how this works, you'll start noticing it everywhere. And you'll never misread a woman's interest again. Let's start with the most common one. The one that happens in almost every interaction where attraction is present. Hair. When a woman starts playing with her hair around you, pay attention. Because she's not just fixing it. She's doing something much more deliberate. And it's one of the clearest signs she's feeling you. Here's what that looks like. She twists a strand between her fingers. She flips it over her shoulder. She tucks it behind her ear, even though it wasn't in her way. She runs her hand through it slowly while maintaining eye contact. And if you're really paying attention, you'll notice she does it more when you're talking. When you're looking at her. When the conversation gets a little more personal. This isn't grooming. This is attraction playing out in real time. Because hair touching serves two purposes. First, it channels nervous energy. When a woman feels that flutter of interest, her hands need something to do. Hair is the easiest outlet. It's accessible. It's natural. It doesn't look forced. Second, it draws your visual attention upward. To her face. To her neck. To her. It's a subconscious way of saying, "Look at me," without actually saying it. And here's the key distinction. If she touches her hair once and moves on, it might mean nothing. But if she keeps doing it throughout the conversation, that's a pattern. That's intentional energy, even if she doesn't realize it. You'll see this everywhere once you start looking. At a coffee shop. In class. At a party. She's talking to you, and her fingers keep finding their way to her hair. Twisting. Smoothing. Playing. That's not anxiety. That's interest. And one more thing. When she moves her hair to one side, especially if it exposes her neck, that's even more significant. Because the neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the body. And exposing it signals trust. Comfort. Openness. So if she sweeps her hair over one shoulder while leaning toward you, she's not just making herself comfortable. She's inviting closeness. Now let's talk about the neck itself. Because this next sign is one of the most underrated. When a woman starts touching her neck or collarbone during a conversation with you, something deeper is happening. The neck is intimate. It's soft. It's vulnerable. We don't expose it or draw attention to it around people we don't feel safe with. But when she feels attracted to you, her hand drifts there almost automatically. You'll see her run her fingers along the side of her neck. Trace her collarbone lightly. Adjust a necklace that didn't need adjusting. Touch the base of her throat while she talks. And all of this happens below her conscious awareness. She's not thinking, "I'm going to touch my neck now to signal interest." Her body is just responding to what she feels. And what she feels is pull. The psychology here is simple. Touching a vulnerable area in your presence means she feels safe enough to do so. It means her nervous system has labeled you as non-threatening, as someone she's comfortable around. And in the landscape of attraction, comfort is everything. Because a woman won't let herself feel attraction towards someone she doesn't feel safe with. It doesn't matter how good-looking you are. It doesn't matter how charming you are. If her nervous system says no, her body won't open. But when it says yes, you'll see it in how she moves, in where her hands go. The neck is a quiet green light. So if you're sitting across from someone and you notice her fingers keep returning to that area, don't dismiss it. That's her body telling you she's engaged. She's present. She's feeling something. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The lips. When a woman touches her lips in front of you, she's doing something very specific. She's drawing your attention to one of the most visually magnetic parts of her face. And she's doing it on purpose, even if she doesn't consciously realize it. You'll see her bite her lower lip, run her finger across her bottom lip while thinking. Apply lip balm, even though her lips are fine. Lightly press her lips together and then touch them. This is redirected focus. Her mind is on you, on the conversation, on the tension building between you. And her body translates that into a gesture that pulls your eyes exactly where she wants them. Because lips are tied to intimacy, to closeness, to all the things that happen when two people move from strangers to something more. And when she highlights them, even subtly, she's planting a visual seed. She's making you notice her in a way that feels almost accidental. But it's not. Let me tell you what this looks like in real life. You're talking. She's listening. And mid-sentence, she bites her bottom lip, just slightly, while looking at you. That's not nervousness. That's attraction leaking through. Or she reaches for her lip balm, makes a show of applying it slowly, and then looks back at you. She just made you watch her lips for 5 full seconds. That was intentional. Even if her conscious mind didn't plan it, her subconscious did. And this is why most men miss these signs. They look too casual, too ordinary. But once you understand the psychology, they stop looking random. They start looking like exactly what they are. Signals, breadcrumbs, invitations. Now let's talk about jewelry. Because this one shows up constantly, and almost no man notices it. When a woman starts playing with her jewelry around you, something is happening beneath the surface. She's spinning her ring, sliding her fingers along her necklace chain, adjusting her earrings, twisting a bracelet around her wrist. And she's doing it while talking to you, while looking at you, while sitting close enough that you could reach out and touch her if you wanted to. This is a self-soothing behavior. It's what her hands do when her nervous system is activated. And attraction absolutely activates the nervous system. Her heart rate is up. Her focus is sharp. She's feeling something she can't quite name. And her body needs an outlet. Jewelry gives her that. It's small. It's tactile. It keeps her hands busy without making her look anxious. But here's the deeper layer. When she plays with a necklace, especially one that rests near her chest, she's subtly drawing your eyes downward. Not in an overt way. Just enough. Just a flash of awareness. This isn't manipulation. It's instinct. Her body knows what captures attention. And it's guiding yours without either of you fully realizing it. So if you're sitting with someone and she keeps fidgeting with her necklace, pay attention. That's not boredom. That's energy. That's her trying to manage what she's feeling. And what she's feeling is you. Now we move into the signs that involve direct contact. And this is where everything shifts. Because when a woman touches you, even lightly, she's made a decision. She's crossed a line most people don't cross with strangers or acquaintances. She's entered your physical space. And that means something. It means she feels safe enough, comfortable enough, interested enough. Let's be clear about what this looks like. She touches your arm while laughing. She taps your shoulder to get your attention. She brushes your hand when reaching for something. She leans in and her knee touches yours, and she doesn't pull away. These moments might last 2 seconds, but they carry weight. Because physical touch is how we communicate trust and warmth faster than words ever could. And when a woman initiates it, she's telling you her walls are down. At least enough to let you in. Here's the psychology. Touch releases oxytocin. It builds rapport. It creates a sense of closeness that didn't exist a moment before. She knows this. Maybe not consciously, but her body knows. So when she reaches out and makes contact, she's not just being friendly. She's testing. She's seeing how you respond. Do you pull away? Do you freeze? Do you smile and stay present? Because your reaction tells her whether it's safe to keep going. And this is where a lot of men fumble. They either don't notice the touch at all, or they overreact and make it awkward. The right response is simple. Smile. Hold eye contact for a beat. Stay relaxed. And if it feels natural, mirror the gesture later. Touch her arm lightly when you're making a point. Let your hand brush hers when you pass her something. Match her energy, because that's what keeps the door open. That's what tells her you're paying attention, that you're interested too. And once that rhythm starts, everything gets easier. The conversation flows. The silences feel comfortable. The tension builds naturally. All because she touched your arm and you didn't miss it. Now here's a sign most men think means the opposite of what it actually means. Playing with a glass or object. You're sitting across from her at a restaurant or coffee shop. She's tracing her finger around the rim of her glass. She's sliding her finger up and down the condensation on the cup. She's spinning her straw slowly, fidgeting with a napkin. And you might think she is distracted, bored, not fully present. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is she has physical energy she doesn't know what to do with. And she's channeling it into something her hands can control. This is redirected attraction. She's feeling something toward you. Something that makes her heart beat a little faster. Something that makes her aware of her body and yours and the space between you. And instead of reaching out and touching you, which might feel too bold, she touches the object in front of her. She moves her hands in ways that are slow, deliberate, almost sensual. And whether she realizes it or not, she's creating a visual. She's making you notice her hands, the way they move, the care she's taking with something as simple as a glass. This is subconscious seduction. It's her body finding a way to express what her mouth won't say. So if you're on a date and you see this, don't write it off. Lean in. Ask her a question. Make eye contact. Because she's not checked out. She's the opposite. She's so tuned in that she needs something to ground herself. And that glass is doing the work her nervous system can't. Here's another one that flies completely under the radar. Adjusting her clothing. She smooths down her shirt. She pulls her sleeves up slightly, then pulls them back down. She adjusts the neckline of her top. She tugs at the hem of her skirt or dress. And this happens more frequently after she notices you noticing her. This is preening. It's one of the oldest nonverbal signals in human behavior. Animals do it. We do it. And it means the same thing across species. I want to look good for you. When a woman starts adjusting her clothes in your presence, she's checking herself. Not because something is wrong, but because she cares what you see. She wants to make sure she looks her best, that nothing is out of place, that you're getting the best version of her. And the key here is timing. If she adjusts her shirt once, when she first sits down, that might just be comfort. But if she keeps doing it throughout the conversation, that's awareness. That's her being hyper-conscious of how she appears to you. And that only happens when she cares what you think, when your opinion matters, when she wants you to see her as attractive. So pay attention to the small fixes, the little adjustments that seem unnecessary, because they are not about the clothes. They are about you. Now we get to the most misunderstood sign of all. And it's the one that makes men think she's not interested when she actually is. Facial framing. She rests her chin on her hand. She touches her cheek while looking at you. She props her head up with her palm during the conversation. And most men see this and think she's bored, tired, waiting for the conversation to end. But that's the exact opposite of what's happening. When a woman frames her face with her hand, she's doing two things. First, she's settling in. She's comfortable. She's not in a hurry to leave. She's present. Second, she's directing your focus to her face. She's making herself the center of your visual attention. And she's doing it in a way that says, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm engaged. This is one of the clearest signs of emotional safety. Because you don't relax like that around someone you're uncomfortable with. You don't rest your face in your hand and gaze at someone unless you feel something. Unless you're enjoying the moment. Unless you're attracted. And here's how you know it's real. Look at her eyes. If she's framing her face and her eyes are soft. If she's smiling slightly. If she's holding your gaze without looking away. That's deep engagement. That's attraction in its quietest, most honest form. This usually shows up later in the conversation. After the small talk. After the nervous laughter. When things start to feel easy. When she's stopped performing and started just being. That's when you'll see it. And if you do, you're in. She's not just interested. She's comfortable. And comfort plus attraction is the combination that leads somewhere real. So why do most men miss all of this? Why do these signs go unnoticed, even when they are happening right in front of them? Because men are conditioned to wait for words. For explicit confirmation. For her to say, I like you, or I'm interested, or I want to see you again. And while they are waiting for that sentence, she's already said it 8 different ways. With her hands. With her posture. With the way she keeps finding reasons to be close. But he didn't hear it. Because he wasn't listening with his eyes. Here's the truth. The body speaks before the mouth does. Always. Words come after we've already decided how we feel. After we've processed it. After we've made it safe enough to say out loud. But the body doesn't wait. It reacts in real time. And for women, that reaction is even more pronounced. Because women are socialized to be careful with their words. To not come on too strong. To let the man lead. So they've learned to communicate in other ways. Through touch. Through movement. Through the small behaviors that say everything without saying anything. And if you're not paying attention to that language, you're missing the entire conversation. Now let's talk about what happens when you do notice. When you pick up on the hair twisting. The neck touching. The way she keeps adjusting her necklace or letting her knee rest against yours. What should you do? First, stay calm. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't announce that you noticed. Just let it inform how you move forward. Second, maintain eye contact. Let her know you're present, that you're not distracted, that she has your full attention. Third, mirror her energy. If she's leaning in, you lean in. If she touches your arm, find a natural moment to return the gesture. This isn't about being calculated. It's about matching the rhythm she's setting. It's about saying yes to what she's already offering. And fourth, don't rush. Let the tension build. Let the conversation breathe. Because attraction isn't something you force. It's something you allow. And when both people are in that space, when the signals are being sent and received, it doesn't need to be pushed. It unfolds on its own. Here's what not to do. Don't ignore the signs and then wonder later if she was interested. Don't wait so long to respond that she assumes you're not paying attention. And don't overcorrect by suddenly becoming too aggressive or forward. The key is calibration. Read her energy. Match it. Move with it. That's how you turn a spark into something real. Now let's address the bigger picture. These 8 signs are not tricks. They are not games. They are honest expressions of what a woman is feeling in the moment. And the reason they matter is because most women won't tell you directly. Not because they are being coy, but because vulnerability is hard. Putting yourself out there is risky. And if she's not sure you feel the same way, she's not going to say it out loud. So she shows you instead. She gives you pieces, clues, moments. And if you pick up on them, if you respond in kind, she feels seen. She feels safe. And that's when attraction deepens. That's when it moves from maybe to yes. But if you miss them, she doesn't try again. She pulls back. She protects herself. And the opportunity closes. Not because she changed her mind, but because she thought you weren't interested. So learning this language isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness. It's about being present enough to notice what's really happening, and respectful enough to respond. Tell me in the comments what usually shifts first for you when you realize someone is interested. Is it something they say or something they do? I'm curious what you've noticed. Because once you start paying attention to these patterns, you see them everywhere. In every conversation, every first meeting, every moment where two people are trying to figure out if the other feels it too. And the more you notice, the more obvious it becomes. Attraction isn't a mystery. It's just a language most people never learn to speak. But now you know it. You know what to look for. You know what it means when she touches her hair, her neck, her lips, when she plays with her jewelry or rests her hand on your arm, when she frames her face and looks at you like you're the only person in the room. You know that none of that is random. It's all signal. It's all intention, even when she doesn't realize it herself. So the next time you're talking to someone and you see these signs, don't second guess it. Don't wait for her to spell it out. Just be present. Be aware. And let yourself respond. Because she's already taken the first step. Now it's your turn. And here's the thing. Once you get comfortable reading these signs, everything changes. You stop feeling confused. You stop missing opportunities. You start moving through the world with a quiet confidence. Because you're no longer guessing. You're reading. You're listening. And you're responding. And that makes all the difference. If this resonated, I want you to do something. Subscribe. Not because I need the number, but because when things finally start making sense, when patterns become clear, You're going to want to come back to Lies Unmasked and tell me thank you. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.